Yo, what is going on, money team? It's your boy Jduntrades with Team Bull Trading, and I hope you're all having a blessed Sunday. We have a value-packed week ahead, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready to make some serious money. Now, in this Sunday watch list, we're going to start with going over our data for the week. On Tuesday, the key data is 10 a.m. consumer confidence. On Wednesday, we have GDP at 8:30, a Fed speaker, a few other nonsense things. On Thursday, we have initial jobless claims at 8:30. We got PCE. That should give us some sort of move. And then 10:50, 11, 1:15, and 7:40, we have Fed speakers. So beware of that. Finally, on Friday, we have manufacturing data. That shouldn't do much. And some Fed speakers the rest of the day after 10:15, 10:15, 12:15, and 1:30. So now that that's out of the way, we are going to go over some setups, some top stocks and setups I'm watching this week, some other fun things we have going on, which, speaking of which, our 30-day plus discipline sprint starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. I update this every single day on my X, on my Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Jduntrades. We are going to be going with no alcohol, working out daily, journaling our trades, and some other things that you will get the full challenge and daily updates if you go follow me on there after this video. So I'm looking forward to changing lives again. The last one we did helped a ton of people, and I suspect this time we're going to change even more lives because as traders, the discipline we use in the stock market starts with our everyday lives, building good disciplined habits, and being a disciplined person. So with that, let's talk about SPY first. Now, I have the daily chart pulled up on SPY. One of the first things that I always look for, my friends, is gaps. Now, clearly we don't have any gaps to the upside because we're at all-time highs. We're above 500, which is crazy. However, to the downside, we have a very large gap to 498 area, 498, 497. So my first setup of the week will be watching for if we get some weakness below this 505 area, below 503, I will look for a gap fill to the downside to trade puts. Now, at this point, this is something I always look at. We've been clearly in an uptrend. I will look for a bounce area around this 495, around this zone, right? Unless we're showing very, very heavy weakness, in which if we are showing that very heavy weakness, my next big bounce area is around this 490. I do not see anything else besides that 490 if we don't make that higher low point in here on our weekly chart. So this would be the higher low point on the weekly. We'll see if that plays out. But for me, my main watch is going to be looking for some weakness, looking for us to fail these previous higher lows and to fill this gap to the downside. After that, we'll have to wait to see what the market gives us. But I think the risk reward favors that downside move first. And then, of course, if we make that higher low, rebound up, we look for upside setups. I just can't personally keep chasing this upside. A little too extended for me. Now, on the flip side, let's go talk about QQQ quick, then we're going to go over a few individual names. Now, QQQ, same idea. We have a big gap from 434 all the way down to 425. Now, QQQ, I don't trade as well personally. I just find myself, I don't trade it as well. I don't make as much money doing it. But I think that this could offer a serious amount of opportunity if we get that weakness. We're only a few dollars off of that, higher low spot where we could fill down. And we have a bigger gap than on SPY. Now, mind you, you can trade ES and NQ with these levels as well. I just go over SPY and QQQ because that's what I'm used to finding the levels on. ES and NQ are tradable on these two. So I want to watch for this breakdown of this 433.5 area for a gap fill to the downside. The only bounce area I see on QQQ is down here, down near this 420 to 418. Besides this, we have room back down to 410. So I'll watch for that gap fill down. Should offer a decent risk reward for a puts or shorts trade on NQ and QQQ, and we'll see what the market gives us on that. Hopefully it works out well. Now, a setup that I like is Tesla. There's two options on this. We had that gap to the upside at 207 that we didn't quite fill yet. However, I want to put this in a perspective for the Tesla bulls. Let's flip this chart over quick. Okay, let's go ahead and flip this chart over. Right, whoops. Wrong. There we go. Okay. Doesn't this look like we're about to break to the upside? To me, this looks like a daily breakout is going to happen to the upside. Sometimes we have to see things from a different perspective to really get a handle on what's happening in price action. Unfortunately, Tesla bulls, which I am partially one right now, I think we might be able to break that bear flag down and we might be heading back down. This is kind of our last stand support here. I still like the upside setup. And as we go down, if we break this bear flag down and move down to 180, 170 and below, I will be adding Tesla equity down here as well. That's part of my plan to hold. When this name gets going, it gets going. And so I'll be watching personally for a breakdown of this bear flag. Or if we break above 200 again, I'll be looking for a gap fill up to 207, 208 area. That's personally what I would like to see and how I would like to play that. Now, on to other names that have been going crazy, let's talk about Nvidia. Nvidia, again, massive all-time highs. Very hard to use the daily chart to find any sort of levels. Go to our hourly chart here. I think the 740 area looks decent. We did bounce it right here. Looks decent for a bounce all the way down to a little wider area than I usually like 720. This whole zone for my equity people, or for my, I guess, wider stop loss people, looks decent for a trade. If we break that down, lots of room down back to that 680 zone. And I believe on the daily, that's it's a gap fill as well. So it's kind of our last stand in here. Otherwise, we have a big gap below. And honestly, looking at this now, I don't really like taking bounces when we have big gaps below. So that's immediately a little higher risk for me. Still something I think that we can watch, but overall, you have to use caution when you're taking a bounce or a reject with gaps below either, because a lot of times the gaps act as magnets and they like to fill. Not always, but a lot of times those gaps like to fill. And if you get caught in that big move down or up, it can be very painful to your P&L if you're on the wrong side of it. Now, on the flip side, let's go talk about AMD. AMD struggling to break over this 180, all-time highs, I believe. Yep, above this 180. Nothing we can really see on the weekly. What I do see is that if we break and hold above this 180, I think we have more room up. It's lagged behind Nvidia quite a bit, but I'm not the type of trader that enjoys chasing all-time highs. That's just not how I trade, right? I think we're going to have a lot of opportunity on pullbacks later this year. I don't like to long all-time highs. That's just not what I do. It's just not where my edge is. So I'll watch for this gap fill below here. I'll watch for a 160 area range bounce, but honestly, guys, besides that, I don't really see a lot in that name that I love. I just really don't, to be completely honest with you guys. So I'll be watching those names. My main watches this week are going to be SPY, QQQ, and Tesla. I like to keep it pretty simple. I've been trading a little futures, getting more familiar and comfortable with those in the process. And, I think that a big part of what you guys need to do is just, stick with the discipline plan we're doing. The discipline sprint is what we call it. We're doing it every day in Team Bull. I'll be updating you guys on Twitter and X every single day. And I hope that it helps you guys take that next leap as a trader, that next leap up in your personal life, and you just see your life get better from what we're doing. That's the key. That is the main key to this all. If you're not executing your daily life, you're not going to be able to execute as a trader. So I think that's why, a big reason why Team Bulls had such the success that we do, why a lot of you guys get the value from these videos that you do, is because obviously we teach the best strategies for trading, but it goes far, far beyond that. So I love you guys. Keep trading smart, keep trading safe. I have a lot of awesome content on the way for you, and I look forward to seeing you inside Team Bull on Monday. If you're in, we are private. If you'd like to get in the wait list, the link is below. And rocking with you guys on this discipline challenge. So God bless, trade smart, trade safe, and have a great trading week.